Hey YouTube, it's been a while, but welcome back to my channel and to another episode of my series Free on Facebook, in which I find things for free on Facebook Marketplace and I either repair them, recycle them, or reuse them in another way. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to repair a Whirlpool Gold Series washer that's leaking. However, this repair isn't just limited to this washer, and it's also applicable to any sort of older style washing machine. So if you like this video, make sure you subscribe to my channel for more DIY and tinkering videos. So this is my first video in a couple of months. That's because I've been going through a really tough personal situation. So if you find this video helpful, please keep me and my family in your prayers. This washer that I picked up is a Whirlpool Gold Series washer. But as I just said, that this video will be applicable to any sort of direct drive washer. And if you don't know if your washer is a direct drive or not, if it doesn't really have any electrical components and is run by what's called a timer, it's most likely a direct drive washer. So if that's leaking, don't throw it out, because what you find from the store these days is probably not going to last you as long as this has. And I'm going to show you a way to quickly take this thing apart and look for leaks. From there, it's just because this one has a particular issue doesn't mean yours will have that same leak, but you'll be able to get a good sense of what component of your washer is leaking from just this technique I'm going to show. Obviously, if this is your personal washer, then you'll be in your laundry room and won't have to worry about how mine's set up. But just in case you're curious, it's just got this splitter here, and it goes to the back, runs the inlet to the back of the washer, and then I got this drain hose set up like this. It's like a $30 setup, and it allows me to test and repair washers outside. Not that you would find yourself in that situation, but let's get to this. Alright, so the first step is to take off this entire cover. So on this Whirlpool, there's just two screws back here that you have to undo, and that's going to allow you to flip this entire cluster up. On some of the other ones, you just have to stick a putty knife down there. Then I think on the Kenmores, you just pry the panel off and the screws are back there. Either way, first step in removing the cover is to fold this panel up. So I'll be doing that now. Alright, so with the panel up, so however you did it based on your particular model, just go ahead and undo the lid switch. There you go. That lid switch is off. Then, from there, all you gotta do these clips. Now, they look kind of weird, but it's really simple. Stick your screwdriver right here and just pry up. This one. Perfect. Alright, so with the lid switch disconnected here and the clips removed, we're just going to take this cover off. All you gotta do is lean it backwards like this, and then just grab it from underneath and just pull it right off. Easy. Alright, so before I fill it up with water, what I typically like to do, I like to jump this door switch, because this will allow it to go into a complete cycle and can see what's going on and without the cover on. Alright, this is only for testing and troubleshooting. You don't want to jump this and leave it like this, because then it's a safety hazard. So this is just a paper clip I'm going to use right here, and I'm just going to jump it between the white and the gray wires. Real simple. The green is just the ground. So I'm just going to stick one end of the paper clip in there and the other in there, and we essentially just jump that. You want to make sure this doesn't come in contact with any sort of metal part, because then you have a short. Alright, so I've got the washer plugged in, got the water on. I'm just going to carefully put this back down, making sure that our jumped lid switch isn't come in contact with any sort of metal part. And then we could just select, we'll select a large size there, and we'll start this washer here. So as it shows up, we'll watch for leaks. Simple as that. As we wait for any sort of leak to come up, if you're unfamiliar with these washers, it's really simple. They have the inlet hoses coming in there, and they come in through these valves. These are solenoid valves, and so they close and open based on when this water reaches a certain level. And you choose that level over here, and underneath here you can see is a pressure switch. And that pressure switch is actuated by this tube that comes all the way down here. So when that water rises inside this tub, the air pressure in the tube increases and it flips that switch on or off, and that's what tells these valves to turn off. So if you have a washer that's overflowing, it could be that switch or it could be the valves. But in the ad, this washer is leaking, so I'm thinking that's going to be different than overflowing, but we'll see. Well, as you can see, it didn't take long for us to find where that water was leaking from, and it can leak from multiple different areas, and the hardest being that there's a seal in this tub, and if it leaks from there, that's a little bit of a job, but not impossible. But you see here, don't worry, I'll clean up off these cobwebs and stuff later, but the water is dripping down right there, and I think I spotted it. Take a look at the drain hose here, and it looks like there's a pinhole leak in the drain hose. So somebody just threw away this washer for this small little pinhole leak, which is probably like, I don't know, like $10 for this part. I mean, $15 maybe. eBay, these washers have, all the parts are cheap on eBay. But yeah, there it is, leaking pretty good. So yeah, that hose is leaking. So I mean, just because that hose is leaking doesn't mean that that's your issue, but like by using this method here, you can figure out where your leak is coming from. For me, it's really easy. But yeah, with the lid switch bypassed, once it gets to that water level, the machine will go by itself. But I'm gonna go ahead, let me see what I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna stop it, and I'm gonna drain off the water. Then I'm gonna go ahead and replace that hose there. There it goes, starting to agitate now. So yeah, it's just a real simple leak right here, coming from the hose. All right, let's slap on a new hose and call it a day. All right, so I've got the replacement drain hose right here, and the good part about bypassing the switch was I put it into the drain spin mode, and it spun out most of the water. Otherwise, that would be, you know, a little bit of a difficult situation when we open up this hose. But I do expect some water to come out of here, so if you're in your garage or your laundry room, be warned. So we're just going to undo this clamp right here. And pull it off the pump. There you go. We'll just let that water come out. That's actually not that bad. Alright, so after that, we'll come and take it off. Actually, we'll come and take it off the back over here. We'll take off that hose. Oops. So once you've undone that side, we'll go ahead and do this clamp. We don't expect that much water to be in this one. There we go. Alright. So now we just need to take off the housing. And sometimes they're held in by a screw, sometimes it's just a clip. Here it's just a clip. All you gotta do is press down and push it out, and there it goes. And we'll just reuse this clamp right here. Alright, so to install the new drain hose, it's pretty much everything just in reverse. All right, it's like 100 degrees out here, so it dried up everything up fairly quickly. Machine is running some duct tape mechanic delicates over here. I put it on a super plus mode just to make sure we get enough water in there to really test this thing out. And as you can see from down here, so far no leaks. But previously, by the time before it even got to agitating, water was already coming out of this drain hose. Now we have absolutely no leaks down here. And nothing down there. So yeah, if you stick around to watch this video this late, I'll give you 5 most likely causes of leaks on these washers. Like I said, you'll be able to see them yourself if you open it up like this, but most likely it's either the inlet hose to the pump, the outlet to the pump. That's 2. The pump itself, this can break, the seal inside can break, so it'll leak. That's 3. And the 4th is the dispenser hose right there. I don't know if you can see it right there. And the 5th one, as I mentioned earlier, is the seal between the tub. That's called the tub seal. That's probably the hardest out of the 5 to replace. And so after that, I mean, it's a pretty simple fix. Also, if you're like me, working with your hands is not only a way to save some money, it's also a stress relief. Yeah, so before you put this back together, make sure you undo the little bypass mechanism on the lid switch and actually hook it up and connect it like how it's supposed to. And that's it. Look at that. Dry as could be.